Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy Bowser Jr. Fan 13 and welcome to another birthday video, and today we are doing another top 10. This is my second top 10 for the day, and today we're going to be focusing on Sonic characters. I've already talked about Mario characters, I've talked about Street Fighter, I've talked about Mortal Kombat, Darkstalkers, BlazBlue, and now I think it's time to give Sonic a chance into the spotlight. So, for the Sonic games, as for the rules of this list, we'll be counting all sorts of different Sonic characters, and I will be counting some canceled characters, and I'll be counting characters from the Archie comics or manga or spin-offs. Whatever games that these characters come in, as long as they are Sonic characters, Sonic will feature them on this list, so yeah. But without further ado, let's get into this action, shall we? Alright, so number 10 is going to Amy Rose. Yes, Amy, of course, is one of my favorite Sonic characters. So basically what goes on with her character and her story is basically that she was just a young pink hedgehog that debuted in Sonic CD. And when she first laid eyes on Sonic, she fell in love with him. And her love for Sonic is insane. Like, she's constantly being Sonic's stalker, chasing after him, hugging onto him, forcing him to like marry her and ask her out on a date. Like, Amy is just really obsessed with Sonic. She's kind of like the new 13 of this, except she's not trying to kill Sonic, because at least she can respect Sonic, because despite him constantly not being interested into dating her, she's at least nice to him and at least reasonable, and she's a very normal character. But outside of her love for Sonic, she's also proven to be a good friend to the other characters, as she's not afraid to step into the battlefield and help alongside them by whacking them with her big giant Pico Pico hammer. You mess with her and her friends, and if you mess with Sonic, you're asking for one hell of a trouble, believe me. But yes, Amy, of course, is one of my favorites.
Have no fear, Amy Rose is here!
Number 9, Infinite. Okay, I know Sonic Forces gets a lot of crap for being the worst game in the series, but granted, it's not the worst. Like, I've seen much worse than this game, but like, granted, like, there are some positives with this game. I mean, I did like the whole Sonic Generations concept and the create your own custom character. That's awesome. And yeah, the rest of the game is just a bit mediocre and felt empty. But one thing that does save it from being the worst, to me at least, is Infinite. Infinite is hands down one of the coolest villains I've ever seen. I mean, I really dig this dude's design. I mean, he looks like a very edgy, scary villain. Now, yes, I know his motivations and his villainous is like a little dull, because, I mean, he was working with Dr. Eggman because Eggman hired him and his Jackal Squad to basically do all this stuff for him. But after getting beaten by Shadow and Shadow calling him weak, this somehow drove him to be stronger, and, well, I don't know, it's kind of strange. I mean, he just wants to be strong just because Shadow called him out and beat him up. I mean, that's kind of petty if you ask me. But outside of that, Infinite can actually be proven to be a threat, especially with the Phantom Ruby that he got from Sonic Mania. So basically, you can use it to cause illusions and basically make them real and have them hurt you, and it is insane. Like, I've seen his boss fights in Sonic Forces, and honestly, I mean, they're not that bad. I mean, sure, some of them might be a bit repetitive or a little uncreative, but his boss fights are actually somewhat unique. And Infinite's kind of like the Scarlet Witch of this universe. And also, you gotta hand it to the voice actor Liam O'Brien for doing a wonderful performance as this character. Hands down why I like this character.
You must be a straggler who got left behind. The strong will always vanquish the weak. You have only your own frailty to blame.
Number 8 is going to Knuckles the Echidna. Knuckles is hands down one of the greatest Sonic characters that have ever been introduced since the classic era. Knuckles is basically one of the last echidnas and last remaining members of his tribe, as he is born on Angel Island, where it's his duty and his mission to protect the Master Emerald from any thieves or strangers, because it's part of his ancestors' legacy. And I can understand that. And he spent all of his time alone, so he mostly acts on his own and doesn't need anybody by his side. Well, that changed until he met Dr. Eggman and was fooled by him that Sonic was going to take the Master Emerald, only to find out that he was tricked and decides to betray him and team up with Sonic to get the Master Emerald back and save the world. Nowadays, Knuckles, of course, would join up with Sonic from time to time and even help him and his friends out just to, save the world. I mean, Knuckles could be a pretty cool dude when you get to know him by chance, and, I like that about Knuckles, and he's pretty tough and one of the strongest characters of all time. I love his gameplay too. His theme songs are so catchy, like the rap lyrics that you put in, the rap lyrics that you have in all of those Sonic games as Knuckles' theme song, it totally fits him. And as much as it kind of disappointed me how in future games it doesn't really acknowledge Knuckles' duty as the Master Emerald protector, and they kind of made him stupid around those eras. I mean, I like how Sonic Frontiers and Movie Sonic, Sonic Movie 2, fixed his character and proved, at least showed why we loved Knuckles in the first place. That was amazing. But overall, Knuckles is just an awesome character.
Don't get in my way!
Number 7 is going to Blaze the Cat. Blaze the Cat was introduced in Sonic Rush, and she's basically the opposite version of Sonic, where she comes from a dimension where she is a princess, apparently, and she's basically collecting opposite versions of Chaos Emeralds called the Soul Emeralds, and fighting an opposite version of Dr. Eggman called Dr. Eggman Nega. Okay, well, anyways, outside of that, Blaze's powers, she is incredibly strong. She has the power of fire, and oh my gosh, she is hands down one of the fastest characters in the series, and I just love her fire powers. They're pretty unique, and especially when you make fighting games off of Sonic, or whatever the situation is, they always find a creative way to use Blaze's powers, and it's so amazing. And when Blaze met Sonic, at first she was his enemy because, she didn't really understand Sonic and all that stuff, but after learning about Dr. Eggman's true intentions and after teaming up with him, nowadays, Blaze has actually become a close friend to Sonic, and from time to time she would even join him and his friends to save the world, and that's amazing. Blaze gets my full respect. She's just an awesome character.
My enemies always fall before me.
Number 6, Miles Tails Prower, the Fox. Yeah, so Tails is another one of my favorite characters from the classic era up to this day, and Tails is hands down so cool. So, as a young child, Tails was bullied by other people because of his awkward birth and his 2 tails and stuff, and he was an orphan, and that was kind of sad. However, his life changed until he encountered Sonic and saw how fast he run. It amazed him so much, and he saw how cool Sonic was going, really fast, so he decided to follow him. And after stumbling upon his plane, he decided to adjust it or repair it to make it fast. And when Sonic encountered him and saw how smart he was, he grew some respect for Tails, and Tails actually gained a friend. And they bonded together, and they would save the world together. It's so amazing. And Tails, his gameplay in the Sonic games is amazing, as he could fly with his 2 tails. And from some games, he would even use some cool inventions, because Tails is a scientist, and he's good at repairing machines and stuff. I mean, his smartness and IQ rivals that to Eggman. And it's so cool to play as Tails when he's stepping in the battlefield to fight Sonic. Except for the featured games where they butchered Tails' character, and I don't know, they sometimes make him a very jealous character because Sonic is hanging out with other characters, or they just make him a straight up coward like Sonic Forces. Seriously, why do this to Tails? at least the movie versions actually fixed Tails' character and put some effort into it. But I'm not here to rant about what happened back then and now. I'm just here to tell you why these characters are my favorite. But yeah, Tails has been an amazing character throughout the years, and he's so cool.
I've changed a lot since I've started hanging with Sonic, but I can't depend on him forever. I know I can do this by myself. Okay, Eggman, bring it on!
Alright, number 5, we have Silver the Hedgehog. This little white hedgehog who comes from the future, basically, he lived a future where things were pretty chaotic and, well, a bunch of crazy stuff was going on. So after encountering Sonic the Hedgehog, he thought he was an enemy at first, but then from time to time, like after seeing who Sonic truly is, he actually teamed up with him to save the future and basically save the past too, and he would even join Sonic from time to time and become friends, just like the rest of the characters. And Silver is very unique, because he spent most of his time trying to protect his future and save the world, as there's many things that's been going on, and he's been quite alone and didn't really have much friends. But after meeting Sonic, he's actually learned that he can't do everything all by himself, and he does need some company. And that's pretty nice. Also, I really love Silver's powers. He's a telekinetic hedgehog who can grab you from a distance with his psychic powers and even grab all sorts of crazy heavy objects at you. I mean, have you seen his Sonic Generations boss fight? It is amazing because he tries to freaking smash you with a huge giant ball made out of cars and building scraps. Like, god damn, Silver. Don't you think you're a bit too OP? But I digress. Silver is just an amazing character, and I welcome him into the future games.
I won't lose. All right, here goes.
Number 4 is going to Dr. Ivo Robotnik, aka Dr. Eggman. Say what you want about Dr. Eggman. I mean, sure, he may be a villain that nowadays is being treated as a joke, but trust me, Eggman has been proven from time to time to actually be threatening, and there are occasional times when Eggman's plans actually go foolproof. So anyways, basically, Eggman's whole deal is that he wants to take over the entire world and conquer it by building his own Eggman empire. And he does this by kidnapping little animals and turning them into his robots, or stuffing them inside his robots so that they could become powerful. And other times he would even steal the Chaos Emeralds and use their power to power up his machines, or to build all sorts of crazy inventions like the Death Egg, or when he makes all sorts of different creations like Chaos, or, you know, all that stuff. Dr. Eggman is a real genius, and he doesn't play around when he's trying to fight against Sonic, because times and times he's been proven to be a real threat, and he never seems to give up at what he does best, trying to conquer the world. And I can understand his ambitions and his motives. I really love his plan in Sonic Adventure 2, like how when he tried to get the Chaos Emerald from Sonic, I mean, Sonic obviously had the fake emerald, and he tried to place it into the center, but Eggman trapped Sonic and tried to put him into a capsule because he knew the emerald was fake. It was such an amazing plan. I had to applaud Eggman for this. That was like really smart. And he is known for creating all sorts of different creations, including one who we'll get to later in the list. But yeah, Eggman is just a cool villain.
You know what they say, the more the merrier.
Number 3, Shadow the Hedgehog. Alright, so throughout the years, Shadow has actually been proven to be a really cool Sonic character, and I'll tell you why. Alright, so in his debut game, Sonic Adventure 2, Shadow has been an experiment created by Professor Gerald Robotnik, Dr. Eggman's grandfather, and I don't know what he was trying to do with his creation, but apparently he was trying to cure some sort of disease for his granddaughter, Maria. I don't know how a hedgehog and a giant lizard is going to cure your granddaughter, but whatever plans you got, I mean, go for it. And he made some sort of weird deal with some aliens known as Black Doom, and, like, you know, So because of this, the Gun military force did not approve of it. They arrested him, executed him, and even shot his daughter. And Maria tried to tell Shadow something very important, but he forgot as he was sealed away and had amnesia. So after being awakened by Dr. Eggman and teaming up with him, he thinks that he should conquer the world and get revenge on the humans after what happened to Maria. But it's later on he finds out that Maria did not want revenge. She wanted him to become friends with all the humans and all that stuff. So after fighting against Sonic and seeing what everybody's going through, Shadow puts his hatred aside and decides to team up with Sonic and save the world. And after regaining his memories in his game Shadow the Hedgehog and discovering who he is, he defeats Black Doom and saves the world. And nowadays he spends the rest of his time fighting alongside Sonic and friends and basically just doing what he can to help everyone. And Shadow is pretty cool for that. And I really like his powers too, since, I mean, he's as fast as Sonic and he has the power of Chaos Energy, which he can use moves like Chaos Sphere, Chaos Control, and Chaos Blast. Shadow is just really amazing, and he's a pretty cool rival, and an edgy one at that.
Playtime is over. Time to step it up.
Number 2 is going to the main star of the whole franchise, Sonic the Hedgehog. Alright, so you all thought that Sonic was going to be number 1, huh? Well, close but no. But anyways, I still love Sonic overall. So, at this point, we all know who Sonic the Hedgehog is. He's a blue hedgehog that loves to run very fast, has incredible speed, and has an attitude that likes to show off and show how cool he is. And he loves chili dogs. That's nice. But one day, after discovering Dr. Eggman and finding out that his friends has been sealed away into these robots, he decides to be heroic and decides to save all the animals from Dr. Eggman. And as soon as he meets other characters like Tails, Knuckles, Amy, Shadow, Silver, etc., etc., Sonic has been making a lot of friends throughout his years, and he's been motivating them, helping them get through their conflicts and stuff, defeating all sorts of different villains, and from time to time, always foiling Dr. Eggman's plans. And Sonic, throughout the years, has been proven to be a really cool character, especially with his growth. In Sonic Adventure 2, through Sonic and the Black Knight, I like how his character grows, like, as he's still, like, the cocky, fun-loving hedgehog that we all know and love. He's also matured throughout the years, especially, like, when times, like, some of these, like, gets very serious. And that's what I like about Sonic. He's a real hero for that. And although I don't want to rant on how in 2010 up to 2017 they butchered Sonic's character again, making him constantly joking and barely taking stuff seriously. I mean, they did change him up in Sonic Forces, but no, not Sonic Forces, Sonic Frontiers is what I meant to say, but alright, I can't keep going on about this whole thing, but overall, Sonic the Hedgehog is just an amazing character. He'll always be one of my favorite heroes, and I just like Sonic.
Sonic's the name, speed's my game.
Before we get to my final pick on the list, as always, here are my honorable mentions, and just like the Mario list, there's quite a lot, but not too much, but there's a lot. Alright, let's do this. Cream the Rabbit, Rouge the Bat, E123 Omega, the Chaotix consisting of Vector the Crocodile, Espio the Chameleon, and Charmy Bee, the Tails Doll, Cosmo, Team Hooligans consisting of Fang the Sniper, Bean the Dynamite, and Bark the Polar Bear, Mighty the Armadillo and Ray the Flying Squirrel, the Babylon Rogues consisting of Jet the Hawk, Wave the Swallow, and Storm the Albatross, Honey the Cat, Chaos, Mephiles the Dark, Scratch and Grounder, E102 Gamma, Tom Wachowski, aka the Donut Lord, and Styx the Badger, as well as Nazzo from Sonic Perfect Nazzo, the fan film. Like, I know Nazzo is not canon, but I wanted to include him on the list because he was an unused character that was originally going to be in Sonic X, but yeah. And finally, my number 1 favorite Sonic the Hedgehog character is Sonichu! Yeah, boy, Sonichu. He's so freaking cool. He's the electric hedgehog Pokemon, the fusion of Sonic and Pikachu, created by our Lord and Savior, Christian Western Chandler, otherwise known as Christian or Christina. Yeah, boy! Psych! Oh my god, okay, but no, I don't really mean that. I'm just joking. I know it's getting old joking with you guys in these top 10s, but I mean, I'm trying to have some fun here, okay? It is my birthday after all. But okay, in all seriousness, my number one favorite Sonic the Hedgehog character is Metal Sonic. Alright, so now here's why I love Metal Sonic. Metal Sonic is hands down my favorite Sonic villain of all the Sonic ages. Like, Metal Sonic has proven to be one of the best villains I've ever seen. So basically, he was a creation made by Dr. Eggman to be a robot that looks exactly like Sonic. I mean, what, was Silver Sonic and Mecha Sonic not enough? I mean, I can understand. Silver Sonic isn't really that useful, and Mecha Sonic, I mean, the only reason why people love him is because of Super Mario Bros. Z. But Metal Sonic, on the other hand, he's proven from far and time to time to be one of the greatest villains that left a big impact on this franchise. Ever since his debut in Sonic CD, he's been proven to try to compete with his speed within Sonic, but throughout the years, Metal Sonic has actually been proving to be even better. I think one of his best moments has to be within Sonic Heroes, where one day Dr. Eggman tried to power up Metal Sonic and basically try to get him to defeat Sonic, but one day his programming started to make him become very powerful to the point where he betrayed Dr. Eggman and went against him and decided he was going to conquer the world all by himself. And he basically lured all the Sonic characters to Dr. Eggman so that he could destroy all of them in one spot, as well as turning into some weird giant kaiju monster known as Metal Overlord. And man, was it such an intense fight. And I really love that idea. Metal Sonic has really proven himself from there to be such a big threat. Even in the manga or in the Archie comics or whatever sorts of sources that you look at, no matter what it is, Metal Sonic is always constantly trying to get back and trying to constantly prove that he's better than Sonic, in the name of his creator or just for himself. But yeah, overall, Metal Sonic is just really cool, and I really like this character. That's why he's my number one favorite Sonic character.
I am the ultimate overlord, Metal Sonic. I am the real Sonic.
And that's all we have for today, ladies and gentlemen. So what do you think of this list? Do you agree or do you disagree? Let me know in the comments down below who is your favorite Sonic character. And I will see you guys in my next birthday video. Peace out, everyone.